Episode 127 is here, and we are here. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. We are For the Fan. As always, I am Will. We got Dom, and we got Jake. Gentlemen, it's like we were just talking 10 minutes ago.
Warmed up. It's almost like this room's already hot.
Who turned the heavy back on?
Go.
I'll go here. I can move some stuff around here, make it all look really nice here. So, yes, if you want to follow us in the links down below. YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, X, For the Fan _ Instagram For the Fan Football. Find us on Apple Podcast, iTunes, wherever you want to listen to your podcast next day. We are live on there, and we have Nicholas talking in here. He said, hey, man. Can you guys say hey to Nick?
Hello, Nick.
Yes, AFC East is here. It's on tap. The Dom and I's team, knocking them out really early, getting them all done. Yeah.
So that means we don't have to wait. I don't have to wait till like September to do the Eagles this time.
Yeah.
Maybe. No. We'll see. Well, do you want...
Oh, see? He has a question about Steelers football. You can ask about the Steelers football thing, even though our Steelers connoisseur expert is not here with us right now. But you can always ask away. Gentlemen, are we ready to go? You guys raring?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for TikTok for tuning in, and YouTube, you are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
So he did say, Nicholas said, well, I'm going to see the Steelers against the Cowboys in October in Pittsburgh. Who wins that game, boys?
That's going to be a close battle.
Yeah?
If it's anything like the 2016 matchup, yeah, that's a fight till the end.
It is in Pittsburgh. He did say it's in Pittsburgh. I mean, I would think that maybe the Cowboys have the edge in that game, I would say. But, like you said, could be a close one. Probably a great game, to be honest.
Yeah, I say this goes down to like a field goal with 000s left in the fourth.
Maybe higher scoring as well.
Yeah. Dom, can you get the slides prepared in the thing here?
Oh, yeah, because this didn't carry over. Okay.
StreamYard.
Asked if you were ready. Like,
no, take it off here.
It wasn't supposed to go up.
First time. Do we live in a barn? Oh my God! Look, this is how casual we are. But we start out with the worst team, we work our way to the best team.
Right.
But yes, we're gonna start out here with the New England Patriots. I don't really want to talk about their season last year. We are in the post-Belichick era, and that's crazy to think that we are a non-coached Belichick team for the first time since 1999. And this is the man who's leading it. Gerard Mayo is the man in charge for the New England Patriots. Elliott Wolf is, I think, one of the GMs or person that's going to get the GM position rolling there. But yes, this is a new era here for the New England Patriots.
No Belichick or Brady. It's a wild time.
Or Josh McDaniels or Mr. Number 2, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge. No two divorced dads trying to teach a quarterback how to pass a football.
Well, I think we can take. Yeah, okay. I was going to say we can.
I was going to say we could take it
down.
Sorry, I was doing something else. Move it over?
Yeah, let's move it over here. Let's talk about this offense, and I don't have anything to say. I really don't. I am just not impressed with this offense.
See, we talked about Ayuk earlier. Hello.
No, and here's the thing. The Patriots have been very in on Ayuk, and the Niners were like, no, we're not trading him. No, he doesn't want to trade. We're not trading him. And now after, yesterday, it came out that Ayuk wants a trade. Bro, I mean, like, it's the time. They have the space. Like, it's all available for it. So I would love to see it happen, especially because they've been pushing. The Patriots have legitimately been pushing for this against the Niners. So if there was to be maybe the favorable spot or the spot that was maybe likely.
So I was listening
It could
to WIP after the gym earlier.
Yeah.
And they basically made a great point that the team that's going to trade for them and sign into the contract is likely a team with a rookie quarterback, so they save the money on the quarterback. So they listed a bunch of teams that are probably would make sense, like the Panthers, the Colts, Patriots. I forget there was another one that was in there. But like Commanders, Colts, and Patriots are the ones I would say like could really do it.
Yeah. I would like to see, I would love it for the Patriots. I mean, now granted, Kendrick Bourne could be good. Like, is he a number one in the NFL? I really don't know. It would be on the low end, obviously.
I mean, it's not like I have hated some of the guys that were there. Like,
yeah,
I still can't say the name right. Butte or Boot. Keyshawn.
Oh, Keyshawn Booty.
Keyshawn Butte.
I think it is Booty, technically. Maybe. I don't know.
Is this the Patriots guy that had 89,000 charges against them for like gambling and stuff?
I don't think
so. I know he looked good when he was on the field last year, and Douglas DeMario looked great when he was on the field last year. But obviously,
I like that you read it backwards.
You did that backwards.
Oh, whoops.
DeMario Douglas.
DeMario Douglas. You know, I thought in my head, I was like, Douglas DeMario just doesn't sound right saying it.
And it's like it's not like the Patriots. Like the Patriots thing is to always invest in the line and like have those trenches really well, which they still do.
Yeah, they do.
I know it's not what we're used to.
No, but it's not bad.
Like
it's not bad.
David Andrews is the only guy from those Super Bowl teams. Like,
yes,
I think
correct.
he's still there. I mean,
I
you got Brissett, he's back, but I know he's not.
See, there's a clear difference between this veteran rookie combo versus the Vikings veteran rookie combo. Like this is the clear. We brought in a guy to insulate him. JJ McCarthy just straight up couldn't beat out Darnold for the job.
Yeah, but this is like Jacoby. We said way early. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacoby Brissett is what we're doing. Drake May, after 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, you know, that thing that happens for so many teams.
Exactly.
When this,
the given 4 or 5 weeks that it always takes before they start.
Yeah, and then sleeper Bailey Zappi's still here. So
no, sleeper Joe Milton is still here.
Yeah, but
hey, you need an 80-yard Hail Mary, Joe Milton.
The fact that the Patriots have like all of the exciting what could be quarterbacks in their system from college, like Milton is like a bigger arm than Josh Allen and Mahomes put together, and then they had Bailey Zappi who had the passing record, all just sitting behind Mac Jones.
This roster is actually kind of wild on here because Juju is in like that freaking whatever spot he's in right there.
Yeah, I know it's gonna get like switched up.
Oh yeah, it's wild. And then Tyquan Thornton wasn't supposed to be terrible. Like it's a bunch of what if.
Tyquan Thornton is just he was like a top 5 combine 40-yard dash guy.
John Ross 2.0
ish, not quite, but almost. And then, but I mean, Hunter Henry is still there, and that's been great.
And your favorite tight end of all time, Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper there, and I don't mind.
Or as you say it, Austin Pooper.
And I don't mind that. Ramondre just got that contract. Love Ramondre. Antonio Gibson, kind of love that. Not gonna lie. I don't mind it. I like it more than last year. I get where we're at. They did things that I don't mind. I'm happy with where this team is right now. I don't expect much from this team. The results are going to be lacking. Like, I get all of that, but I'm content with where this is as a fan. So I don't mind it. It's going to be an interesting year. This is the first year where it's like really like, okay, like this is an entirely new team basically on its own just because of no Bill Belichick anymore. But some of these personnel stuff too, it's an entirely new team. I don't know who the receiving core is going to be week 6. It could be any of these dudes at the 2 and 3 spot. Like you really, I mean, no, maybe not.
All these guys are 2 and 3 receivers
Yeah.
on any team.
Juju and Kendrick Bourne.
Cores.
Easily. Juju and Kendrick Bourne are obviously going to be like the 1-2. That's what it's been. But, I mean, you have no clue what's going to happen.
See,
no idea.
I almost want to say, like, I don't want to see Drake May get any significant starts this season. Like, if you want to bring him in late in the game in garbage time, if you actually are up, like, to where you could bring him in,
yeah,
cool.
I don't know if that'll ever happen, but yeah. I mean, the team. This was the team that scored like 3 points in 4 weeks last week or last.
Hey, they're also the first team not to give up 10 or more
Who's
points
their-
in how many weeks?
Did they change their offensive coordinators or?
Oh yeah, it's all overhauled. They brought in the
right?
quarterbacks coach from the Browns. I think that's their new OC.
Great.
Yeah, love that.
Hey, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco.
I hate you. I hate you
It's
so
Joe
much.
Flacco. Why didn't they bring in Joe Flacco?
I hate you.
Fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah, gosh, I really don't. I don't know because I haven't dove in and I'm so disconnected from football up until like an hour ago. Didn't we do something with Josh McDaniels? Isn't he like chilling on our team somewhere?
No, he's not there at all. No, you're thinking of Ben McAdoo.
No, shut up.
No, Ben McAdoo is on the Patriots. I hope you understand that.
Recognize that. I refuse to acknowledge Ben McAdoo's existence and being anywhere near this team. No, we never mention his name. I will never mention his name ever again unless.
So Alex Van Pelt is the. So Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, and he was a part of the Browns. I'm not sure if he's the quarterbacks coach for the Browns, but he was there. I can also look up Ben McAdoo Patriots. And yes, the Patriots, Ben McAdoo joined the Patriots as a senior offensive assistant in 2024.
Whatever that means. I don't.
Yeah, forget about it.
He wasn't terrible until he was a coach.
Yeah, until he was an actual head coach. But like, this is
Same with Josh McDaniels.
It's twice. This is like a coaching by committee for some reason. I don't know why.
No, it's not the Matt Patricia and
no
Joe Judge.
No, that was
Divorced
by
parents.
committee, and that was terrible.
So that was
Divorced parents trying to teach their quarterback who they don't know anything about offense.
I just want to know: is there really before we went on that tangent? Is there one voice in the room instead of a defensive coordinator and a special teams coach trying to?
The defensive
Alex Van Pelt.
Defensively though, Gerard Mayo is.
No, I mean for the quarterback, for the offense.
I don't even know.
So you don't Mac Jones, Drake May.
I don't even know who the quarterback coach is either.
Oh, you know who one of the assistant wide receivers coaches are?
Who?
You'll know this name, Tyquan Underwood. If you remember,
okay, very
in the middle of receiving for the Buccaneers back like 10 years ago. He was there. I don't really know much on this offensive. I don't really know much. Yeah, Brian Belichick.
Wide receiver coach Tyler Hughes, whoever that is, too.
Yeah, but I don't know
Dante Hightower.
So it's just the coordinator. Like they have an actual coordinator.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yes, they have a real coordinator. Alex Van Pelt is the offensive guy, and
then DeMarcus Covington is the defensive coordinator.
All right. Well, you mean Gerard Mayo?
Gerard Mayo is calling the shots.
Exactly. With Brian Belichick as the safety coach. And Dante Hightower as the inside linebacker coach, and I'm so about that.
Kind of awesome. And like the defense is so good. Well, we're not there yet.
Let's go to the defense, because I'd much rather talk about the defense than this offense.
I agree. It is kind of awesome, like Jake said, just because it's Gerard Mayo and his boy, Dante Hightower, and they're like, it's copy and paste the exact same dude, basically. So I am all about that because Gerard Mayo was like, psyched.
It was like mentor and student now combined to be.
Yeah, and he stepped right into the Gerard Mayo role perfectly, the exact same way, everything. So that communication.
Because what really went off the rails, and they still only let up like less than a touchdown a game, was everyone got hurt, and they were still a good defense.
Well, but that was also the Bill thing every year. You know, I mean, like...
Yeah, but do you think it's going to be any different really under Mayo and Hightower?
It won't. It, like, literally won't.
It's the same thing. It's the defensive the defense led by the linebackers.
Yeah.
which is really how the Patriot system has worked. The Alabama system has worked.
And Gerard Mayo was a coach on the field kind of thing when he was the captain, calling plays, doing everything. I mean, like that's who Gerard Mayo was. So super smart, super reliable play. Led the league in tackles, I think, one year. Did he win Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Gerard Mayo?
No, I don't think he did. But
I don't know if that was the same year as like D'Amico Ryans or not.
No, it's something. I don't know. Whatever. He might have just led the league in tackles or whatever his rookie year or something like that. But no, he's like super reliable. Wraps up, tackles the guy, makes sure that happens. Like nothing is too flashy, but the right things were always done. I do like Gerard Mayo in that sense, and I like him with this defense and everything. So
and then it's another season with Keon White. Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, which Jones? Do you think they put like the first initial on like the jersey? Like, oh, like here's like M Jones and J Jones.
Or are there two J Joneses?
Yeah, Jonathan Jones and
I think there were more.
There was last year, I think.
There was like 4.
Yeah, there was.
That confused the hell out of me.
Marcus Jones I really liked, and then he returned kicks, super explosive. I think we played him at wide receiver. No, didn't he get like a touchdown in each position one week? I think might have.
Yeah.
But a pick 6 or something. But he's cool. I love him. Christian Gonzalez being there. He was
back.
Freaking awesome for 4 weeks last week.
My rookie of the year pick last year.
It wasn't even a bad pick for 4 weeks. It was a great pick, actually, Will.
I think it was 3 weeks. Like, I don't even think it lasted that long.
But it was awesome. He had like the best coverage stats in the league at that point or something like that.
Again, like assuming they stay healthy, that the defense is healthy again.
And also assuming it's very similar.
They'll be in games.
Yeah. I agree.
Like they might actually give the offense leads to work with themselves, kind of like 2000 Ravens.
The only thing is this is an incredibly tough division right now.
Well, yeah, but you're not always playing your division.
No, that's true. So we're not. I don't even think we're talking about playoffs. We're just talking about competing, and I think that's what we got to talk.
You need to see improvement from a 4-win team last year.
Yeah, we just got to talk about
how will this team. What will make this team successful? It's building off of. You don't have Belichick anymore. You don't have Brady anymore. You don't have Julian Edelman. You don't have a lot of these guys that you won these Super Bowls with. You don't have the Rodney Harrisons.
No, this is a different team. This is a new team. This is everything. We've never seen this team.
On what makes this successful.
Okay.
Is in the post Belichick era, you have you show consistency on the defensive side of the ball to what Belichick brought with the expatriates being there, and then you just show some foundation for Drake May to step into. Because I don't think you want him to play a single game this year.
No, but their plan is to do what everyone does and him play like maybe week 4, 5, 6, 7,
but
somewhere around there.
I really don't think that's a good idea. Like besides the offensive line being okay and he probably won't get beat up all that bad, he's got nobody to throw to. Nobody. Like unless you get an Ayuk and then it's a different story. Now it's okay. What does this kid got? But
you're gonna give it a Zach.
You're not
Wilson
gonna see anything.
You're gonna give it,
Yeah. You're not gonna see a thing. It just more games for the fan base to turn on him before he even has a chance.
No, I mean, yeah, but I would say the fan base doesn't really turn on him like that yet.
It's Boston, dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
They've been spoiled, and that's why they don't turn on people. But you don't think after a couple of years of losing that they will turn on him immediately?
That's valid. Also, the quarterback coach was hired this year. I think this is who you're thinking about, Will. The quarterback coach was the quarterback coach, or actually the offensive assistant for 4 seasons in Cleveland. That's the quarterback coach. I don't think that's Alex Van Pelt. That's what you said, Alex Van Pelt, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what his career is at the moment. I don't have it up. Oh, maybe it was also the Browns. Maybe it's just like the same. Maybe he brought him in.
Yeah, I think they poached from the Browns.
I think that's
he
what
bounced around a lot.
Yeah, no, Browns since 2020. He was the offensive coordinator from 2020 to 2022 or 2023. Sorry. He was a quarterback coach in Cincinnati. He was a Green Bay quarterback coach for Rodgers for like 4 years. all right. Like he doesn't have the worst resume, but it's not pretty.
But those guys, you don't really see the fruits of their labor until they're in a bigger position.
Yeah, I would like to know how Gerard Mayo said that's the guy. I don't know how, but that's
Hopefully,
interesting.
it's not a Staley.
Well, yeah.
Womp womp.
Well, this guy's actually been in the NFL, so
He's been in a real division of anything.
yeah. Let's
Let's go to look at the schedule here.
Gosh, it's not.
I don't think the schedule matters. It's not about the schedule.
It's not, but it's also not favorable at all.
Yeah,
It's
you
not-
have to go. Well, you're against Cincinnati. I mean,
Jeez, bro. L.
But I don't think it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
just how they do in those games.
No, it is. I mean, when, like Will said, the success or that question that Will asks about what makes this team successful, it really isn't about the schedule. It's not about the season results. Other than have we competed in these games? Has the team developed? Do we know who guys are now?
Dom,
Like,
you are. I'm going to throw this to hockey. You are
Yeah.
the Washington Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers at the moment.
what this is?
Well, actually, the Flyers more or less.
Yeah, definitely more the
Mitchkov
Flyers.
coming in.
Definitely more the Flyers. Well, the Capitals youth.
The
but definitely
games
more the
do
Flyers.
not matter.
No.
Like if they win, cool. If they don't, cool.
Yeah.
How did they do?
Yeah, that's pretty much where the Patriots, and that's the first time the Patriots have been there in like 40 years. So 25, at least 30 years. So
Oh, I like how you
yeah,
guys.
then you got to
on there,
play.
too.
I feel they got to play London, and then they got to come back and then
Mhm.
play the Jets again.
we don't have preseason.
Yeah, I
do
chose the
we?
preseason up there.
Preseason is in the very little text font. It's not
Oh, that's cool.
If we play you guys again.
Oh wow, yeah, that is cool.
We usually play the
Yeah.
AFC East at least once. And
Right.
usually our big game is against either the Jets or Patriots.
Oh my gosh, dude, 1, 2, maybe.
I say 4 is like a thing here.
Yeah, a 4 could very well be the ceiling, but they could compete and make it 6. I mean, like Jake's not wrong. They could definitely compete against some of these teams, maybe even the Bills, like every time kind of thing. You
So,
know,
assuming May doesn't start, I think, like, assuming he doesn't start any games, it's
Yeah.
Brissett and Brissett's healthy. I think that Titans game, they might actually have a lead that put him in late.
yeah, but like I think the Patriots could go start the season 0-8. Realistically, I think it could happen. I don't think it will happen. I think they'll compete in teams, and we, I don't know what the Mac Jones thing is going to be in Jacksonville. Maybe they just start him, but like, I realistically, I think the Patriots could go 0-8.
There's a possibility you are playing Mac Jones that game.
Hey man, good for Mac Jones. I don't know, but yeah, I think we've said everything we could say about the Patriots this year, which is fine.
Which is not a lot, but a lot.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
It's something, but it's not like the schedule and the result, like the season result of schedule.
All your guys are coming back next season. The whole coaching staff's going to come back. Like they know it's like, okay, this isn't, I know
Like-
Kraft probably wants to win a seventh,
Well,
Super Bowl.
eventually,
But, it's not going to be, an overnight thing.
again, this is a brand new team. We'll see. That's just it. Let's see him compete. That's all. All right. Well, you ready?
Let's go down to the armpit of America here, New Jersey, where the Jets a year ago, they trade for Aaron Rodgers. All hopes are high. They're on Hard Knocks. They're talking about charcuterie boards and the whole 10 yards. And then 4 plays into Aaron Rodgers' tenure, sacked by Leonard Floyd, and Rodgers gets up, puts his hands on his hips, goes back down, and that's the saddest moment of my life.
By the way, by the way, you are playing Leonard Floyd week 1 again.
Don't remind me, please. Okay. And then after the Rodgers injury, the quarterback carousel began, and that really was the gist of the Jets season.
I mean, the
Tim
Jets-
Boyle, Zach Wilson, Trevor Siemian. Yeah. 7 wins. I don't know how they won 7 games. I really don't know.
I don't. Based on the game that we went to, I have no idea because I was more concerned about the beer I was drinking and the punt return than the rest.
Are
of the
you sure you weren't concerned about the little glowing wrist thing?
That was also-
That was the coolest part, bro. The intro and the glowing
The
wrist were
intro,
sick.
the punt return, that was it.
it was more presentation than it was game, like on-field action. But
And
it
to
was
be honest, that's all I remember from that game.
same. That's all I remember. As soon as the kickoff happened after that was a punt return, right?
Yeah, it was a punt.
Yeah.
It was a punt return.
I sat in that end zone. I sat in that end zone. That he
Right
returned
there.
to.
So were we.
As soon as the kickoff happened after that, I don't remember a single second of the rest of the game. But
All I remember is Zach Wilson had a terrible play where he rolled out, had a guy, and just missed him. That was it.
Might have been CJ Uzama. He was just dropping everything that game. That's the first Jet game I lost early.
Over his hands. It was like even with full extension, like off the top of the.
But yes, let's go into the roster here, and they completely overhauled this entire offense. They bring in a Pro Bowler in Tyron Smith. They get rid of Laken Tomlinson. They bring in John Simpson. They trade for Morgan Moses, who was on the team back in 2021. Yeah, Mike Williams, a pork roll sandwich, helped secure the deal to get him into New York. That is still a phenomenal story if you've not heard of it. Yeah, and I got to talk about one of my favorite rookies on here, Malachi Corley, the Yak King he proclaims himself. Yes, I am excited for
That's a
the
good one.
Debo of the East.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm excited
really
for Debo of the East.
I really like that. So I'm gonna have a question, just judging on right now, because I totally forgot you guys got Tyron Smith, and Morgan Moses, I should say. The two of them could have. Olu is backing up this year, confirmed.
That's when Tyron Smith, who has not finished an entire season since 2015.
That's also true. That's
If
also
he could
very
step
true.
in, and you got, hey, I think he could be the next best left tackle for the Jets. I think he could be up there with Shaw Ferguson. I really think he can be.
Olu could easily be the start to be the best left tackle in football.
I know. I think he could be that as well. I am excited for this offensive line. If you ask me about Aaron Rodgers and maybe any injury concerns, I'm more concerned about the offensive line and their health. And I know I've told you guys this before, and I'll say it to the masses here. The Jets have not had consistency at the offensive line since DeBrickashaw Ferguson, who played 10,826 snaps out of a possible 10,827 snaps. Okay? He's never missed a practice. And also, you look at the center, Nick Mangold. You think of Jets, you think of those two on the offensive line. Two historic pieces.
Big reason why they beat Patriots. Why Mark Sanchez was successful at all.
Damian Woody, oh my God, I missed that offensive line. Matt Slauson, that was an incredible offensive line.
I'm going to say I loved your guys' offseason, especially your draft.
Yeah.
Loved it.
This is a home run here. They hit it out of the park.
Which you needed to. You needed to because this is like Aaron Rodgers this year kind of thing. It has to be this year. Has to be the year.
You don't even know what Rodgers is going to do because, he hasn't played football since I'm not even considering the preseason or even the 4 snaps he played. He hasn't played a game since the Lions and Packers played in 2022. He has not played a football game since.
But it's also Aaron Rodgers. Like, if he's healthy, he will be good.
Yeah.
And the offensive line, which when he had it in Green Bay, forget about it.
Exactly. If he's protected
phenomenal.
and he's healthy, forget about it. Like, even when he's not protected, like that was that one Bears game where Khalil Mack was murdering him until he came back in the second half.
High as a kite.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say is my biggest thing for a good offseason is does a move make me say the rich get richer?
Yeah.
And there were two on the offense that made me say that. It was Malachi Corley. I thought Olu Fashana would start, so that really didn't do it. But Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen was a stud that took over for Jonathan Taylor as the Wisconsin running back of that big, long line that they have of Wisconsin running backs.
And let's not forget, too, he just turned 20 years old, Braylon
He's
Allen.
amazing. If they didn't have Brees, if every other team, he's a starter, almost. Not named, McCaffrey, Saquon.
Yeah.
That's a starter day one on almost every team.
And then you also still have Brees, who
Still have Breeze.
was very, very good last year. Obviously needed to be, but
You have
still.
Tariq Cohen.
The kick return game is now up, and they signed Terry Cohen. Tariq Cohen is. I forgot he was a Jet too until I saw the depth chart. I'm like, uh-oh. I also forgot Mike Williams was a Jet until last week, so that was
I think that's half the reason why we drafted Cooper DeJean,
I did not.
because he can return punts and kicks.
Terry Cohen's only 28 years old.
And he hasn't been in the league in 4 years. Just put that into perspective.
Bro, what? I
That's like,
expected to look that up and him be 33.
That's
at
like
least.
James White. James White's like barely
Yeah.
older than we are. He's like selling insurance now.
Yeah. It's funny.
But
yeah,
this is the offensive. This is the offensive.
It's a really good
Nuggets.
offense. If
Yeah.
again,
And the injury bug, I think, is MetLife Turf is number one, and then number two is the injury bug, which they kind of go hand in hand there. So
if they were to I'm dead set in believing that Devontae Adams is going to be a Jet. I didn't know this until you guys said it earlier, but I am convinced that he's trying to work his way back to Rodgers. Like, there's been a whole bunch of things that have been dropped about, like, you're an idiot for leaving Rodgers, and he's super unhappy with Jimmy Garoppolo and how the Raiders have been doing.
But he loves Antonio Pearson. That meant everything to him. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
I got to finish the receiver to see where he was at the end of the season.
I have watched none of it.
It's not as good as the quarterback.
It's Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's
So
not.
my Netflix is actually kind of.
But I mean, they're also having 6 guys on receiver compared to 3 quarterbacks, where they can slowly set the
it's
pace. Now they got to
different.
cram like so much stuff into 8 episodes.
Like the first episode, I'll just say it real fast. The first episode was only 3 of them, and then no, it's 5 receivers. Well, the first episode was 3 of them, about 3 of them. Oh, is it 6? No, it's 5. The first episode was about the 2 49ers, and then Amon-Ra. And then the next episode was Justin Jefferson and Devontae. And then I haven't finished the third yet. I don't know if they're all in it. But, we'll see where Devontae's head was at when Antonio Pierce happened and where it was at the end of the season. I'm looking forward to that.
That is true, but like I do think some part of him, like, especially since he only went there for Derek Carr.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also true. And immediately Derek Carr was
Immediately
gone.
they shipped off Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I think he's going to
Josh
want to
McDaniels.
work his way back to Rodgers somehow.
I just don't think it's going to happen this off season.
I don't think he starts. I really don't think he starts the season with the Raiders. I just don't.
I really don't.
Antonio Brown his way out of there. He's going to freeze his feet.
Yeah. You're going to see him run out of the house like,
Ah! Oh, I saw an interview with Derek Carr. He's like, man, everyone was gross to me. Like, oh, AB played a practice with me and like didn't like it. But he was like, but Derek Carr was like, I would have won MVP if he was with the Raiders that year.
That was a good year to do it. Go for it.
As we go for the defense here, not a whole lot's changed. They bring in Javon Kinlaw, the former first-round pick for the 49ers. And you still have, you trade for Hassan Reddick after what's-his-face went down I-95. They shipped the other guy up I-95. Who knows if Reddick's even going to show up next week for training camp.
I was just about that.
They report on Monday. I think everyone reports, rookies and veterans. So that's where we're at right now.
I am still mad that Reddick is not an Eagle.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm
all
still
about
mad about it.
You could take him back. How about we get the other guy back?
I get angry. Like, that dude set up for. We'll get to. I should get to him when we get to the Eagles.
Okay, this defense is very good.
No, this defense reminds me of the really good Eagles defenses that we used to have back in the day.
The 2000s.
Like really the ones that shaped my fandom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason why I love good defenses. Like, they just have everything. They got a good, nose tackles don't really exist anymore, but nose tackle and Quinn Williams. They got theoretically the pass rushers on the outside that both I wanted as an Eagle, Jermaine Johnson out of the draft, and then Reddick to still be here.
Yeah.
Let's also not forget too.
Good. Like,
maybe they might get something out of Tack McKinley, who's now on the Jets as well.
Geez, that
another piece.
Where
And he is the
Prius
third. He's in the third piece, right behind Reddick there.
Thomas too.
And they also have Quantez Stiggers, the Canadian Football League god that, I don't know, he looked really good in one of the pro days he participated in. Goes in the 5th round to the Jets. And that now adds up with Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, who is also already a great cornerback room as it is. Chuck Clark, who's coming off of a torn ACL while on vacation last year. Tony Adams, who was one of the low-key, underrated kind of guys at safety as well. Ashton Davis is also there. I love this team.
Yeah, I
really
will
do.
say I would if I were you.
Isaiah Oliver too.
Oh, I didn't even. Yep. Wow.
Wow.
This is a stacked team with some depth as well. I mean,
So
Now,
really,
you got to survive training camp.
Will, what's all right? I mean, like, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but what makes this team successful?
It's a Super Bowl. You bring in Aaron Rodgers because you want to put a trophy next to the AFL versus NFL. That's labeled on the trophy. Let's just put that there. The AFL versus NFL championship. You want a trophy that's going right next to it. Rodgers wants a trophy that's next to it. It's anything less than a Super Bowl. And I said it last year. Anything less than a Super Bowl is a complete waste.
We might have said that exact thing, that exact
so
thing last year.
what I was about to ask
You don't
is,
bring Aaron Rodgers to be like, oh, we're going to build up a guy. No, you're bringing in Aaron Rodgers because you want a Super Bowl. That's
how
the
did they
whole
Jets
point.
this? How do they Jets this?
I think we all know.
The
How'd they
MetLife
do it?
turf,
Yeah.
training camp. I mean, I enjoyed training camp last year when I went with Dom, although it was 100 degrees and we were sweltering in the chairs.
I
That's
wore
a-
a black
That's
shirt.
a you problem.
Yeah, it was an idiot move on
I
my
wore my
part.
Darnold jersey. I would wear it again.
Of course
Damn
you
it.
did. That's probably what cursed them. It was probably you wearing a Darnold jersey and the Aaron Rodgers' first practice.
I don't wear jerseys at all when I watch games, and I have a
I know.
30-piece collection behind me. I don't like wearing jerseys when I'm watching games.
And your love for Darnold is probably what's cursing the Jets right now.
Listen. But yes, let's go to the schedule here for the Jets. And again, I think week one's the most difficult part of that first 11 games. You play, 6 primetime games. If you want to consider London, because it's a standalone game, it's 7. But yes, I think this can repeat as the 2010 Jets. You could go 9-2 going into the bye. I really think 9-2 going into the bye. I think 12, 13 wins can be.
It's a nice buy for a good playoff run.
Yeah,
If you make it there.
crazy buy.
Week 10.
And you going to Florida in December, like. I don't like playing Buffalo week 17. That's a snowstorm and a half that's going to happen that game.
Well, you just bench everybody. You want to be in a position where you just bench everybody. You don't worry about it. But
Well, you could even easily have 10 wins before the bye week.
The 49ers game, I think, is the most difficult game. I mean, that's obvious.
I think that'll really be the most telling game of the season. If you go out and you are at the very least like blow for blow with the Niners, and you stay healthy.
Yeah.
I don't
like-
like the cross-country road trip, though, to begin the season. You start out on the West
Well-
Coast, then you got 6 days to go to Nashville, and then you have 4 days to play Thursday night. You're playing 10 games.
You're a Flyers fan. You should be used to the screwy schedule.
Yes, I know. Oh, hey, we're opening in Calgary, and we're going to be on the West Coast for the next 3 weeks because we got the carnival in town.
Literally opening the season with a West Coast.
10:30 at night. I'm not staying up to watch that game. I'll watch the highlights on SportsCenter.
First 3 games, West Coast.
Why is there the to be decided thing?
Because they don't decide week 18 games because ESPN wants 2 games that are in playoff contention. So like this year was the Steelers and the Ravens. The Steelers can get in.
I don't
After,
mind it.
some other stuff, and then the primetime game is usually
They don't give
a
times.
playoff deciding like factor.
I don't think they've given times for the last week of the season for a very long time.
They haven't done it since they started week 18.
I just always known like no matter what the week 17 game.
Well, they used to do like here's a
they'll
bunch of
keep
1
track
o'clock
all
games and like 3, 4 o'clock games, but then they would be like, okay, we're gonna switch all these games around because of
Yeah, they'll all get
scheduling.
changed. They'll schedule them all 1 o'clock, but by the time you actually get there, they'll decide who really are what the real schedule is.
Mhm.
That's cool. I like that. Because they're all Sundays anyway, so it's not like you're screwing over like people that have tickets because it's not going to be like,
Well, you still have the Saturday, but like that's also a day before, so it's not even like
But they would say Saturday a long time in advance.
no, they won't do that until they figure out after week 17. They don't decide that. So like this,
Oh,
like
really?
the Jets Dolphins game could be a Saturday game or Sunday game. You don't even know till
because of the primetime stuff.
because ESPN wants the 2 playoff games there. That's what they want.
It's not like flexing a game from Sunday to Monday.
I feel like though you kind of
That's-
know going into December if your team might be in primetime. Like, it at least gets leveled down to like maybe like a quarter of the league could be a potential.
Well,
Saturday.
yeah, it's only the teams that are in contention for certain things. Like they're not going to
Yeah.
give like the 2 1 seeds, the 2 teams in contention for
No.
1 seed like that. They're going to put them both at 1:00.
It's going to be the teams that make it or break it for like the playoffs. Yeah,
Or-
well, I could see this team having 13 wins easy.
Again, it's the Jets.
Yeah.
It depends on the offensive line. If the offensive line goes down, then Rodgers goes down.
But,
You don't have a 40-year-old DeJuan Brown now blocking and doing chop blocks on the offensive line. You don't have to worry about that. And you don't have Becton at right tackle, even though he's a left tackle at heart. So you improve it with 2 way better options.
You also
Yeah.
have insurance this year. Like if your really old left tackle gets hurt, like old left tackles do.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny to even say, like, Tyron Smith's like 31 years old too, and he's not even old. Like he's been in the league
Excuse
for
me?
like
Yeah,
he's been in the league since like 19.
Yeah, nuts. Just weird. I know.
Yeah, his very first game was against the Jets in like 2011.
People
So
go to
he's
the
like
Jets.
32.
I know. I've been dealing with Tyron Smith for a very long time.
People,
I always knew if that going into the game against the Cowboys, if Tyron Smith or Trent Frederick were hurt, we're going to win the game.
people are going to the Jets, and all of a sudden they're like 4 years younger. Tyreek Cohen being 28. I don't even understand. Aaron Rodgers 22. I don't.
Braylon Allen's been alive for Aaron Rodgers' entire NFL career, so I just put that into perspective.
That's crazy.
Way to make us all feel really old.
I
I remember when he was still just when he was the new guy, just sitting behind Brett Favre. I remember those days.
Are you ready?
Let's take our talents to South Beach like LeBron did. Yeah, so last year, Tua and Tyreek was probably one of the best quarterback wide receiver duos of all time. And, well, not all time. I should say of the season.
Well,
But
I mean,
yes. Well, when
Weeks.
Tua was healthy and Tyreek was healthy, this was a unstoppable duo, especially for anyone on the field. They fell just a half a game from hosting a playoff game. They went into the 4th coldest game in NFL history against the Kansas City Chiefs. They came up just short. But listen, there's still this duo here. There's still Jalen Waddle. There's still Tyreek Hill. And they bring in a guy who was from New York as we go into the offense here. So we go in, there we go. So Odell Beckham Jr. is now a Miami Dolphin for $8 million or something ridiculous like that. I don't understand it. But
All right.
the thing
All
I have to talk about though here,
Okay, I'll let you.
the Dolphins were the most poached team of the offseason. They lost Mike Hunt. They lose Van Ginkel. They lost a lot of pieces. Like this
They
team
lost their
got
defensive coordinator.
they lost a lot of pieces.
So I'm gonna say this thing that's gonna actually make Dom pretty happy. So like I believe in the Miami Dolphins last year, assuming they do the thing, like they put things together. They again last year showed how they can't win in like the playoff fashion, like cold weather, sustaining injuries, all those things. I said, assuming they stay healthy, they should be really good. And then when it comes down to playoff time, they should be in a position where they're playing at home.
I mean,
That-
they had such unfortunate injuries though last
But
year.
it happened
Jalen Phillips blew
here,
out
and
the
it went
Achilles.
down.
but like, what did I say last year? I said this is a good team, but if they have any injuries in key positions, it's over.
Well,
I mean,
they
that's
shouldn't have
most
even
teams.
played half these
That's
guys because
the
the
team.
games were like at a loss or a win in that matter.
Like this is where you remember I was a big on the Miami train last year. Miami and Detroit were my 2 teams outside of the Eagles that I was all in on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, I said the same exact thing. Well, every team deals with injuries. Every team doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're any team. You get a position, you get your quarterback hurt, you're done.
Yeah.
Like they once again suffered injuries and fell off again. At what point is it actually a team thing? Because the Eagles had this where we were just every year after year, the most injured team. Somehow won a Super Bowl in there, but it was a thing. Like, I thought that, no, I made the same mistake. This is a freak thing, getting all of these whole position groups hurt. And it happened again. The whole offensive line they were on second and third string players at every position when the Eagles played them.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got decimated. They couldn't, the reason they lost that game, they very well should have won. The reason they lost is because they couldn't protect the quarterback.
Yeah. Because
of backups.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be all in on them again. I just can't do it. I'm the Dominic side.
Like Teron Armstead, which when you remember him as a Saints left tackle, hey, good luck trying to go against him. That was the Tyron Smith of the NFC South. I don't know, but like it was like kind of like, oh hey, he was gonna retire. Like they kind of got him to come back this year and play again. And then you have Liam Eichenberg, who you draft. Now he's a backup to Aaron Brewer.
But I like him now. He's going to be.
And you still have the track meet in Raheem Mostert,
fast
as hell. Devon Achane,
fast
as hell. Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright's going to be a star in this team. I think he will be a star.
Discount the fact that they're always going to have good skill position guys.
Yeah.
It's the line and the defense that keep getting hurt.
Yeah.
And they can't replace them. They can't step them in.
I mean, this offense is going to produce. It's going to be so exciting. It's going to be explosive as all hell. It's going to have the weeks where Devon Achane has, 75 touchdowns in a week. It's going to happen, and it'll be awesome.
Like the big thing, like before you get going, Dom, that shows me that they haven't fixed it is they signed Driscoll from the Eagles, and I know our lads is wrong a lot, but they have him as a backup guard. That's a tackle.
Jack Driscoll. Yeah, Driscoll.
He was our backup tackle that we would put at guard because of Stoutland. Like, the fact that you have him penciled in immediately as your backup right guard shows me you don't have depth to the position at all. Still.
I mean, I don't know. Even Isaiah Wynn wasn't. He was okay, good, kind of. That's a tough one for me being there. Like, I don't know if that's going to be super effective either. But
I also like that we haven't mentioned Jonnu Smith at all.
No, I was getting there. I do like Jonnu Smith being there and stuff. But again, when the Dolphins
not use him.
Yeah, the Dolphins just don't use tight ends like that. That's why Gesicki's not.
If you're a blocking tight, Gesicki couldn't block. If you can block,
Jonnu Smith isn't the best blocker. Jonnu Smith
is going to see the field. Durham Smythe is still going to see the field.
Yeah,
they don't use them though.
But Jonnu Smith
use tight ends.
Is a utility tight end that can do a lot for your offense in a lot of different ways when you use them that way. The Patriots did for like 2 games and then didn't, and that sucked. The Falcons did. That was cool. And the Titans did. But outside those 2 teams, I don't know.
Like, they made me look like a fool last year believing them, and I'm not gonna look like a fool again. Like, they're an incredibly talented team. If they do well, I won't be surprised. But assuming that they have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
If they don't stay healthy at all, they're gonna be terrible. They'll get easily passed by the Jets, and the same thing will happen. They might be third because the Bills somehow passed them. The Bills are terrible.
And you know what? We've watched. So before this show, obviously, we did the NFC North, right? Yeah, NFC North. And I'm pretty sure the Dolphins.
Question that was only like an hour ago.
Listen, all right. The Dolphins were like on all of those schedules, I think, or maybe it was just one. I don't know. But when I got to the Dolphins,
it was just the Packers.
Just the one. Okay, I said all. Whatever. It was late in the year that the Packers played the Dolphins, and I said, you know what? I think that might be a Packers win because there could be a lot of injuries on this Dolphins team.
No, regardless, they lose.
Oh, I don't know where.
Florida teams playing. Well, yeah, Florida teams playing in like Lambeau Field and like November and like beyond.
I don't know if it was
very few wins compared
Just
to
ask Odell going to Miami before Green Bay works.
Yeah, that's also true. All right, let's go to the defense.
So on the defensive side of the ball, the question marks though, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, your best 2 pass rushers on this team. Like, how healthy they're going to be? They both blew out their Achilles super late into the year. Again,
they both blew out their Achilles, so they probably won't be 100% until sometime around week 6 or 7.
100% maybe.
But Chop Robinson does take some of that if he beefed up a little bit more. He was a little small.
Mm,
And you got Dom's guy, Anthony Walker Jr.
I do love him, but he's like a Dante Hightower guy kind
They
of.
got a lot of depth though too, like Shaquille Barrett, which
Yep.
we've seen him with the Buccaneers. Like
Yeah, that could be big.
They fixed some of the depth on defense, but why not the offensive line? Like, you're an offensive-based team.
Yeah. But see, there's a lot of changes on this defense.
Well, they got Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, they got Jordan Poyer after he was cut from Buffalo. Calais
Marcus
Campbell goes from Atlanta now to Miami.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad.
Kendall Fuller's now a part of the system.
Oh, they have Storm Duck. That's great.
Marcus May.
Which is
Storm Duck is like my favorite name ever.
should have stayed at Penn State.
It's not a bad team at all. I don't think on defense.
I think the defense is, for what the injuries are right now, it's good.
But it wasn't a bad team on defense last year, and I don't think they performed as well as they could have.
Well, they somehow. Well, again, that game was like negative 30 degrees. So
yeah, like it's like no one's like
Any
you can't
defense
teach that
well.
cold.
But I'm talking about the whole season, not just.
No, I'm trying to think of like later in the year when
Yeah.
it's crunch time. Plus, they had already had injuries. Like, they still did well, but again, that game was. That's for no one who has not experienced it. That's a different level cold.
Yes, very much so.
Even though McDaniels had the shirt, I turn up the cold or whatever it was.
No, you don't want that cold. You don't want that cold.
Listen, I remember I still have all the beer photos saved in my phone. I was like, man, just imagine trying to drink a cold one here and just you can't.
No, at the time I tried to have one in here that was already.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It exploded during one of the episodes. He tried to be like, I'm gonna open this beer so quietly. Bah!
It immediately blew
It
up.
was like robbing a bank. Like, it was just like, nah, everyone needs to know you're opening this thing. I don't really have much else to say on this defense, though.
I think maybe if they stay if they still stay healthy, because the defense gets hurt too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If Phillips and Chubb are just all right and they ride it out until they're back to 100%, they could be something again. Like, this defense could be like a top 10 defense.
Oh, I think easily. Even with them not there, it could be.
When did Ramsey really come back?
Like week 6 or 7.
I think it was,
Yeah.
But it was a couple more.
7 or 8,
It was a couple more weeks before he was like him.
They
again.
played the Patriots in Miami. That's his first game back, and then they went to Germany. So like week 8.
Yeah.
So
They weren't rushing him back at all. They're like, hey, like, like take your time. But he was like rehabbing as fast as he could.
If they stay healthy, I'll pick them to win the division even over the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'd expect Jalen Ramsey to be better
Than he was last year.
Yeah, easily, because I know how the meniscus thing goes, and I know what his surgery was, and it's different. And I'm sure every step he took for like a full month, like every normal step, not even on the field or backpedaling, every normal step he took for a full month was so weird to him, I'm sure. So like, I'd imagine now that he's used to it and living life like that for a year, that like he gets it.
Yeah.
It's different.
A healthy Miami team wins the division even over that really good Jets team.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I don't. Maybe. Yeah. No. That offense. If the offense just doesn't get hurt at all, I mean, this team is crazy insane. But
also, what's the deal with Tua?
He is on this 5th-year option. He's gonna show up.
Okay, so he's incentivized to play well again.
yeah. But I mean,
and with that receiving core, I mean,
yeah.
Hey,
I see
it
him
works with him.
less though. I really do.
Especially with this
He
offense.
led the league in passing last year, which when I saw it, I was like,
Out of me. He actually stayed healthy.
Yeah.
He looked good. When Tyreek was healthy, he was really good.
100%.
Well, Waddle was never really healthy either last year, so like that's another big thing.
That's also true.
So like again, you take away any big number 2 and then number 1, like you're not going to do well regardless. It just doesn't work that way. Like doubles exist.
Well, Waddle was basically taken away for many games, and I mean, with him in
Immediately,
Tyreek.
he was hurt real early.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they still obviously performed because of the running backs and Tyreek. So
Exactly.
they have guys.
He
still,
was
but
questionable from like the start of the year,
Yeah,
and they were able to sustain it with the run game and Hill, and then the offensive line got hurt, and then it was
Waddle
over.
killed people in fantasy last year. That's for sure, because they relied on him. All right, let's look at the schedule.
So the schedule here, the Battle of Florida to start the season, and then you go right up to Buffalo for the AFC East rematch.
We're lucky
immediately on
to go
Thursday
to
night.
Buffalo in
That
the
early.
beginning.
I remember
of the
we said that.
season.
We made a big point about that last year, which I might have already fallen into that trap. But like we said, we really thought by the time they went to Buffalo last season,
Yeah,
it'd
they
be-
went there like week 4.
Yeah, they're undefeated by bye week. I think this year.
like they don't have
I mean, playing the Seahawks on the road is going to be difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, assuming the Dolphins still will be fully healthy by then, I think. I mean, I don't know.
And you still have the Titans, who, let's not forget, they beat them on Monday night last year. The Titans.
What
They
week
gave them a run for their money last year.
What week was that?
Week 14.
Yeah, they were
It's
done.
late though.
They were
See,
done.
like,
They
I
were-
know it was late in the season.
glad-
I know, like Tua, Tyreek hurt his ankle. He came back and he was still playing. But like,
Wow, Jets week 18. I know we just looked at it with
yeah,
on the Jets schedule, but like,
that could be an insanely competitive, insanely
be for, like,
incentivizing-
it could also be like one of the 1 or 2 seed of the versus a wild card.
yeah, that could be for the first.
I don't even want to look
in
at the
the-
Jets game. Look at the game the week before. If that stays how it is, they got to play the Browns in Cleveland in the end of December.
Oof.
A night game too, by the way. Night game.
Even colder than what it is.
So 2 losses,
loss.
maybe 3 losses before they play the Jets for the winner take all of the division.
And before week 13 to 18 is a hard stretch because that week 13 is also in Green Bay.
on Thanksgiving, where Green
yeah.
Bay always wins on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a tough freaking stretch, bro.
Wow, that might even be 6 losses. Like depending on how the last Jets game goes, that could be 6 losses to end the year.
And if the Dolphins aren't healthy,
Again,
forget about it.
again.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's difficult. But leading up to that, I think they have a reasonably easy schedule and could win pretty much all the games.
Well, so
I'm sorry, I lied. They don't play Buffalo till week 9 in Buffalo. I read that wrong. I thought it was.
Yeah, you're right.
that's still early. Though.
That's still not bad.
Early November versus January.
Yeah, getting Buffalo done that early is kind of nice for them.
I don't know. I still think this is like a double-digit team. I think like 10 wins is still perfect.
Easily.
You know, I could still chalk up a sweep of New England. I can confidently, I'll say, they beat the Jaguars. They'll beat the Titans. I'll say they start 1-2. No one could really play in Seattle that well on the road at any point. Colts, Cardinals. I'll say they could beat the Rams. They could definitely beat the Raiders.
I mean, Miami fully healthy is as good as any team in the league.
Easily.
Yeah.
If Miami was fully healthy, if injuries were turned off for Miami for the whole season, they could go undefeated. But
They're soft.
outside of the cold. But yeah. So I don't know.
No, then they get to play at home.
Well, not those last 2 weeks.
No, if they never mind.
Oh, you're saying for playoffs? Yeah, that's true. I think 10. Well, I feel like 10 is floor.
I mean, does anyone have a defense that could keep up with the track meet that the Dolphins can provide on offense? I don't think there's any defense that can.
Except
really
for maybe the Jets.
There are a couple fields that can.
Yeah, there's a couple fields like the Jets.
They got to play a cold MetLife turf week 18.
There's a very cold Cleveland game that I'm looking dead in the face.
That too.
And you still got to play the Niners too. Like
that could very well be a blizzard game. By the way.
Yeah.
That Browns game.
Oh, 100%.
That's a really tough back half, right? That might be one of the toughest in the whole league, to be honest.
They really got shafted on that last 6 games.
They could play teams that all end with 10+ wins, 11+ wins, maybe by the end of the season. Maybe outside the Packers, but still. Oh, well, not the Browns. But either way, it's playing them in the cold is like that. Yeah, that's tough, man.
Just look at this. I've won a game. I've won against every major social media network. I won an appeal against TikTok now. Boom.
Wow, good for you, Will. That's an accomplishment. Undefeated.
Yeah. Undefeated. Never lost. I'm like a LeVar. Never lost.
Never lost.
Big baller brand. Never lost. And let's go up into Buffalo, New York, where tables are smashed, and that's about it there.
Is it eulogy time?
How do you want me to go about this? So I'll go up into, let's go all the way to the Monday Night Football game against the Broncos, where they were upset against the Broncos. They fire Ken Dorsey. They promote Joe Brady, and this is where James Cook emerges as one of the best running backs in the AFC, and if you want to debate it, possibly the NFL as well. And this is kind of the face of the Bills. They went against Josh Allen. They went against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs again. Did not come up victorious, and this is kind of where their story ended last year. But it was a very up and down season for the Bills until they fired Ken Dorsey, which really was able to flip their season around.
This is my Miami for you.
That's valid.
I can't stand this team. This is the anointed, never done dick team.
Except for...
And now they're significantly worse.
Miami did something at some point in their history. The Bills attempted...
Well, they went to 4 straight, which has never been done before.
What has Josh Allen actually done? I want you to name things that he has actually done.
He made a funny on TikTok.
A lot of times, actually. You know, I guarantee you, I was thinking about this earlier, I guarantee you the quarterback reached out to Josh Allen, and he might have been like the only quarterback in the league that said yes. Because I feel like he already deals with so much social media stuff. And
I want to know when they ask him. Like, they definitely have to ask him, like, before the season. Like,
oh, easily. Yeah. Because they get all ready, like, before week 1.
So the Bills were really screwed going into the offseason. They had to cut a lot of people to free up a lot of money. And that starts out with Mitch Morse, their center. He goes to Jacksonville. They let go of Trey White. They let go of Jordan Poyer. Stephon Diggs, he goes from Buffalo to Houston, where he lands. And yeah, this is they signed Deion Dawkins to a large extension. I cannot really point out a lot of positives. They got 2 good tight ends. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. They got wow, they're both DK. I've never noticed that in a moment.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, the receiving core has really fallen off a fiscal cliff. I mean, if you want to say the removal of Gabe Davis is a bonus, I think you can say it's a bonus, because Gabe Davis was either 100 yards or 0.
Khalil Shakir is a better Gabe Davis.
Maybe. Sometimes.
No,
the only guy I really like on this is Curtis Samuel and Mac Hollins. I don't know much about Keon Coleman. We'll figure that out when we get into the season. I didn't really watch a lot of Florida State games to really.
Chase Claypool is also on this
team. It's a bunch of dudes.
Andy Isabella too. Let's also not forget the receiver gone quarterback for the one game for the Broncos. KJ Hamler is also there, as well.
No, that's not KJ. That wasn't.
That was. No. Yeah, I messed that one up.
No, yeah, you real messed it up.
KJ Hamler is cool.
KJ Hamler at quarterback, love him.
I would have,
but he would have gotten murdered.
Well, the guy that did get murdered too. So, but
Kendall Hinton.
There you go. Yeah, Kendall Hinton.
It was a K and an H. I knew it. So.
You're right. You and the initials on this team. You don't have a number 1 receiver. Period.
This is the Patriots receiving core.
Yeah.
This is barely better.
It's better than
I would say, yeah, maybe it is a little bit better. Barely. Honestly, by the end of the season, that could even be different. The Patriots could have a better receiving core of dudes, you know.
They better hope they can run the ball.
This team, yeah, well, they still only...
But the Bills don't run the ball.
Yeah.
Well, look at who they have. They were a lot better with James Cook last year. When Joe Brady took over, they were a lot better with James Cook, Ty Johnson. And look who's all the way at the end of the running backs there. His father played for them not too long ago.
Oh.
Frank Gore Jr., if he makes it.
Very
he
true.
makes the roster.
That's crazy. I feel like out of just respect, you have to.
And they also have Lel Collins, who I still really appreciate. I still think he could be a starter in this league. I know, short end of the stick with the Bengals. He got hurt, and that was kind of like the end of it. But
Well, no one wanted to pay him, so that's most of the problem.
yeah, no one wants to pay a guy, $20 million in December to play football.
Gosh, I don't know how I feel about this team,
I don't know.
dude.
The offensive line is still there.
Well, here's the thing: is we all know that their defense got gutted.
Should we just
let's go to the defense here, where I have mentioned they lost Jordan Poyer, they lost Trey White. These were cap casualties where they knew they couldn't keep them. There was just too little money that was available. They had to free up a lot of money because they were like $50 million or whatever. They were like not Chargers level, like $50 million, but they had to do a lot of stuff. I know Von Miller had to take a major pay cut to,
I mean, it's not
there.
like he's hardly playing now. I feel like.
Yeah, he said he shouldn't have even played last year. Like,
he's a GM waiting to be a GM. That's it.
Matt Milano, who broke his leg in London last year against the Jaguars. But they still have a lot of positives here. Greg Rousseau, Terrell Bernard, Christian Benford, Rasul Douglas, who he made the plays when he needed to step up, especially with Trey White tearing his Achilles. He stepped up and played in for them.
That's very good, but it's still it still took a step back.
I don't really have much else that's like a positive. Ed Oliver, who still good. Daquan Jones.
No, they're trying to be the old Bills of we don't need a defense and deep cross go Burr with Diggs, but they don't have the guys anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're still them, and they're just not. Like, I remember they were all bragging, like, oh, well, Diggs out of the building is addition by subtraction. Okay.
Diggs is a 1. Who's a 1?
Who's your 2? What 2 do you have?
Well, you got a bunch of 2s. You need a 1. You need a guy that can, like, take the lead.
Maybe
the Patriots. The Patriots have a bunch of slots.
Yeah. A bunch of guys who could maybe be 2s that were never really, like...
I mean, look again. I mean, it's Curtis Samuel is a lower end 2.
Curtis Samuel's a slot.
Yeah, like, true. Khalil Shakir could be.
Valdez-Scantling, Chase Claypool, Hollins, all these guys who could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, that's extremely true. I don't know, man. Like the fall off on both sides is pretty.
It's almost like
extreme.
They went from Diggs and then Gabe Davis and then brought in a bunch of Gabe Davises. Guys who will have a game. And then just nothing.
This is like the biggest fall off. We thought this is what we were going to see in Tampa Bay last year. I think.
But I know, like, Josh Allen, he's still the dual threat, but it's like, how much can Josh Allen carry the team?
Well, is he? Outside of having Diggs, he was not a dual threat.
I know, he still had double-digit rushing touchdowns as well.
Yeah, that part.
No, I mean, like, he couldn't throw the ball before Diggs.
I don't know.
Straight up couldn't throw the ball.
This could be a lot of interceptions because he's going to force the ball in more situations.
He's going to have more interceptions anyway because he's unfixable. He has Carson Wentz-itis, and now he doesn't have receivers to bail him out anymore.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Like, I hate the Bills. I hate that they were crowned before they even did anything, and now they don't have anything to build up on.
Mm-hmm. The team took a step back on both sides of the ball. I don't know. Let's look at their schedule.
So the schedule here, I mean, I think that's a easy week 1 win. Like,
yeah.
Easy week 1 win, but then it's like, okay, now we have to go to Miami. Then you got to play the Jacksonville. Then you got to go to Baltimore.
Oh, my gosh.
So
they got to play, again, they got to play 3 in a row on the road. They got to play Baltimore, Texans, and then the Jets.
Win, loss, dogfight, loss. Win, dogfight, loss. Dogfight, loss.
Bye. Loss, dogfight, loss. Win. Oh, my God. That's stupid. Patriots. They did that last year, too. It was dumb.
Is that 3 clear wins that we gave them? 3?
Well, you got to count half the dogfights as a win.
But I'm
probably.
saying, but like 3 clear wins you can give them.
Yeah. This is a tough schedule, actually. Because that's a really tough
They're a
stretch.
last place team playing a
Well,
first place schedule.
They got to play 3 consecutive primetime games, week 2, 3, and 4.
And those are not easy opponents. And then immediately followed by.
I'll say the Jaguars are easy just because.
Well,
It's a dogfight for them. If they're not, there's not an easy win
I
for
don't
them.
know. It depends on what we see from the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars performed at times last year, like pretty substantially. But then, even if you call it a win, that's a tough stretch still, because if the Jaguars are your easy game, that's tough, because that's still a toss-up game, I think. And then you immediately follow that with Baltimore night game, which Baltimore performs in night games. Then Texans, tough.
Also
Jets,
on the road.
Tough.
Road.
Yeah, that's tough right there. And then you have the stretch after the bye week where you're going to get beaten up by the Niners. You play the Rams. The Rams could easily win that game. Then you play Detroit. You're going to get beaten up in Detroit.
You're going to go out after your bye. You're going to go
after a bye after playing Kansas City.
You're going to go out to the West Coast. You're going to go home and then out to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Then you're going to still be on the road, go to Detroit. Both those are road games. So I'm going to say both those are losses straight up. Not dogfight for the Rams.
I don't know where the Rams are going to be. Well, also, this bye week's kind of convenient because you're going to throw it all out there against Kansas City because that's what they do. And then you get a bye week. So at least
they can't beat Kansas City.
No, they're not going to beat Kansas City. I'm saying, though, they're going to exert more energy than usual playing that team.
They always go all out for their regular season game against the Chiefs.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is. I still think they beat the Patriots in the season, but
they'll probably sweep the Patriots.
No, I mean standings wise.
Oh yeah,
like they're the third team in this, but the gap between
you're
you guys and the Dolphins, and
you're going to finish third most likely,
and it's not going to be close to second.
Like you're a bad team paying a quarterback, and you're going to finish third.
I think the Bills could be under 500. And then you have the Dolphins and the Jets who are going to compete for the number 1 spot at like 13 wins each at the final game of the season, which is crazy. And then here the Patriots and the Bills might compete for draft picks. So
who is even on their like graphic here? Why is Josh Allen not?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Well, who are these guys? Is that Kincaid?
I think
Kincaid and Knox.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And who's the other one?
We'll go back. They have numbers. 31.
Is that 30 or 80?
31.
Yeah, it has to be a defensive guy.
31.
31 or 81.
Who's 31?
Okay, go to the offense. They just don't exist.
These aren't real people.
Oh, Valdez-Scantling, there's no way, bro, that you
that
threw
might be 81. I don't know.
That's what I said. That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That's so
Valdez-Scantling and the tight ends. Cool.
That is the weirdest graphic. Why did you choose those guys? Hey, let's just get the. You know what? The 80s are here in the picture. Let's just get them real quick for the schedule graphic. All right, thanks. That's what happened. They were like, let's just put the 8 just right in a row.
Poverty.
That's kind of funny.
Well,
do you have anything more to say about this?
Nothing else. Okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our show. The back-to-back in the summer heat is absolutely brutal. So,
Cool down in here.
No, I'm good. I'm chilling.
I figured it out. It took an hour, but I figured it out.
This thing on.
Awesome. I redesigned the vent thing up there, and it's making a big difference.
No more swamp ass.
Nope, it's still there.
No, after the first one, we were sweating. It was tough. And then as this one went, by the end of it right now, I'm not sweating even a little bit. I'm good.
I mean, I hit my stride. Once we get in here and we start going, like I don't feel it, and then I get out of here and I'm like,
oh yeah, that's true.
But yes, follow us down below here. Let me move this over on TikTok here next to Jake. YouTube for the Fan Network, TikTok for the Fan Network. Follow us, and we're live every Wednesday from now through February. Not a Wednesday off. Maybe a Tuesday every now and then, but not a Wednesday off. But yes.
No days off.
Do we have a wheel, Dom?
Oh yes, I forgot about this.
Wait, what is it? I saw you working on this. What is this?
So this is the wheel of misfortune. So this is who we get to talk about next week.
Oh, so we're doing random, huh?
Yeah. So
Can we just go? No, never mind. Actually, I don't want to do. I don't want to do my team too early, but I don't want to wait until the day before the season starts this year.
So we have the wheel of misfortune here. As Dom's trying to. There we go.
Look at that.
So where are we going to go now?
Oh,
Wait, well, can you make sure they're all correct there, right? I did it correctly.
South, south, north, east, west, west. Yep, you're good.
All right, good. Are you ready?
Yep.
It might play sound. It might be extremely loud. I'm not sure. Oh, it's perfect.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
All right, and we are going. No way. Yeah!
All right, here we go. Atlanta, let's go.
The NFC South.
That could not be better.
The biggest loser of the day is Colton, having to listen to this right now.
Falcon stands. Stand up.
That is so crazy, bro. That I cannot believe that happened.
Best part about that last year is I was the one that led that, and then you guys took all the heat all year.
I still get ruined.
I just gassed you guys up and let you go, and then the rest of the year, Colton's just flaming you guys.
Well, he did it to me earlier today.
I know you're
the
you're still taking the heat for something I completely started.
And I mean, I also said, oh, hey, I could see the Falcons winning 9 games last year, which
I cannot.
not that far off.
No, it's just the same year they've had.
I started saying like I maybe could see this team winning the division, and then you guys ran with.
I can't. I was so happy that happened. I could not have designed that better. I actually spun the wheel like 5 times, Will, and then I just recorded it and I played it. I just wanted AFC. That's how. Yep.
That's the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah, that's so.
Really, the
fantastic.
best thing.
I'm so happy that happened.
Someone text Colton to let him know that we're doing.
No.
We have to send him the
Clip this.
video.
Yeah, clip this and we'll just send him this. He'll be so happy. Oh, that's so good.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that's
yes.
that.
That's amazing.
That's the episode there. Thank you all for tuning in. Tune in next week for the great NFC South debate.
The short.